Hold up, stop the presses. Before you get into this episode, I would just like to explain that for the first 30 minutes, me and PJ had a little snafu, and we kind of sound a little bit like robots. There's just a funny little funky techno-y sounding echo on our voices that goes away at about the 30-minute mark. You can still listen to it, just think of it as we're on like a futuristic spaceship, and this is just what we sound like. Okay, here's the show.
Has anyone ever asked you what's your sign? Do you get frustrated when you don't know what to respond with? Well, today's episode covers a little about each zodiac sign and will help you not feel like you're so lost in the stars.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Two gays walk into a bar. All right, let's fuck. It will help make you feel like you're not so lost in the stars. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2 Days Walking a Bar podcast.
Welcome back.
I am Jesus T. Christ in the flesh.
And I'm Peaches and Cream.
Mm-hmm. Although, I would prefer if you were something that started with a J instead of a C.
Well, there's nothing
Don't
fun.
fuck.
There's nothing fun that goes with peaches. That's
Peaches and jam. Peaches and jelly. Peaches and ginger.
Ginger starts with a G.
Ginger with a J.
Ginger with a J.
Ginger with a J. Well, you know what? Fucking, it's time. It is officially time to start the podcast. And what better way to talk about podcast things than to talk about Planet of the Apes? What do you know about it?
Planet of the Apes.
What do you know about Planet of the Apes?
I haven't really seen much about it.
Ooh, shit.
I have. Okay, so I saw like the original movie.
Really?
Yes.
With Charlton Heston.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how'd you like it?
It was the animation wasn't the
Animation.
Not animation. You know, like the
prosthetics.
Yeah.
Even though they were like very ahead of their time, and
it's been a while since I've seen it, honestly.
I would honestly say that the prosthetics is one of the best things about the original Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
Mr. PJ is like, it won awards. Like the actors who were in the ape makeup, they would kind of relish in going out with the makeup on, just like to do day-to-day activities and just freak people out, just like driving cars and just like freak people out. Like,
that's pretty funny.
yeah. And I know that the original Planet of the Apes movie is based off of a French novel, of which the original translation was Monkey Planet.
Oh.
And the original novel was actually a lot more about the politics of it. This astronaut basically gets stranded on this planet where the apes are the high intelligence and the humans are the low intelligence, and he gets wrangled up with some humans because they basically keep them in cages and do experiments on them, and he gets wrangled up with them, and he tries to convince them that he is intelligent, and it's really hard to do that because they don't speak English; they speak Simian, and his English probably just sounds like gibberish to them. They probably just think he's another retard.
Yeah.
But he tries his best to show them that he is a being of higher intelligence. You know, Pavlov's dog experiments with the salivating dog.
Yeah.
He purposely did that whenever they would feed him, so that they would know he was intelligent, because none of the other humans would do that. And he slowly started to learn their language. And the movie, sorry, not the movie, the book, actually sort of ends, well, not, this isn't too much of a spoiler, also it's been around for many decades.
So it's fine.
Well, no, the book is different because at the end of the book, he's basically in front of like the monkey Congress, the Planet of the Apes Congress,
Wow.
and he is basically giving them a speech in Simian.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very good book. I highly recommend it. Yeah, I like
read that
reading.
often, so.
I like reading the classics. You know, like a lot of the classic movies are based off of some even more classic books.
Yeah.
Like
I've also seen the recent Planet of the Apes too. I saw the first one at least.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
And actually, what made me want to talk about it was because in this room we have a War for the Planet of the Apes poster. It's massive and it's fucking awesome. I'll probably show it on camera. But like the new series of movies really, really hold up. They really hold up.
Yeah.
They're super, super good.
I still
love
really
them.
want to see them, but
I own them all. We should watch them.
yes, we should watch them. Yes.
I'm not even just like bantering for the podcast. We actually do need to watch them.
Yeah,
They're,
I know.
They are some of my favorite groups of movies. I saw them all in the theater multiple times.
Wow.
And I don't normally get to squeeze in all of a franchise, but since it's just 3 and I love them so much, like it wasn't, super difficult, but dude.
I think the only full franchise that I ever watched in the theaters were the Twilight movies.
I didn't see any of the Twilight movies in theaters. I saw them.
Have you read any of the books?
No.
I only read the first one. But
How do you feel about the movies?
I for the time, like I feel like they were really good. I really enjoyed the movies.
I actually watched them pretty recently, all in a row, just kind of like a binge thing, because I'd never seen them, and I can give you my honest opinion, okay?
Okay.
As someone who wasn't, raised on it, I don't have a biased look at it, and I can honestly tell you that they're not that bad.
They are not. I mean, wait, hold on. They are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't like Kristen Stewart and say that she was just like blank face the whole time, but that was her character. She was supposed to be like that in the movies.
Well, I can honestly tell you that I don't think it makes for a very great main character to be blank face. That's why you don't often see that. Is because
it's a vampire story
because you like the main character to be very emotive and very expressive, and when half of your expressions are just it's kind of hard to relate to that. You want you want the main character to be someone you can root for and relate to. And it's really hard to root for Bella, especially in the first movie, which is what I was about to say, which is while I do think the movies aren't as bad as people, claim them to be, I do think the worst movie is the first movie.
Yeah.
I think the first movie is a bad movie. I'm just going to flat out say it. I don't think it's even a good movie. They had this terrible, filter on the whole thing that makes everyone just look sickly and gross.
Mm-hmm.
And
honestly, though,
the dialogue is not good.
Yeah, honestly, whenever New Moon came out and they like made everything like popularized, that's where Team Edward and Team Jacob started coming around, because they actually started like developing more in the storyline.
Jacob wasn't shit in the first movie.
Exactly.
There was no Team Jacob. I really didn't like a lot of the decisions the characters would make. Mm-hmm. So the movies were often very frustrating to watch. I can tell you that my favorite one, there's 4, right?
Yes.
My favorite one is the third one. My favorite
Part
1. It's Eclipse, or is it Breaking Dawn?
Oh wait, hold on.
Which one is part 1 or 2?
Yeah, so there's 5 movies.
Oh.
But, the 4th and 5th movie are part 1 and part 2.
Okay, well I watched the part 1. Is that Breaking Dawn?
Yes.
Okay, so Breaking Dawn part 1 and 2.
Yes.
All right. Well, I watched part 1. And
Eclipse is honestly my favorite movie out of.
I can tell you that Breaking Dawn Part 1 was my favorite, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
Because the plot is actually very unique for this kind of movie.
Oh yeah,
very unique.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see it coming, and I honestly thought they were going to do something different towards the end, but really the whole movie is this really curveball plot. Basically, Edward knocks up Bella, and she has this vampire kid inside her, and since, children are basically parasites as it is, imagine a vampire children. Imagine a little vampire baby in you just eat you from the inside out. That's a real parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah. A child is like a
I
parasite, though.
she
Because it grows in you. It feeds off of your insides and it feeds off your life energy.
yeah.
But it's the worst kind of parasite because it hangs around after you get rid of it.
And you're forced to take care
And you're
of
forced
it.
to take care of it for 18 years.
Oh my god.
Terrible, terrible parasite. I wish we could finally find a way, like a certain spray to just help. I don't know. Like a nice exterminator.
Oh my gosh. Just spray the house down and make sure no children get in.
Planned Parenthood starts offering delivery.
Oh my gosh. Or pickup.
Or pick up. Drive through.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if we should put that in there. But anyways, so Breaking Dawn Part 1, Edward knocks up Bella, and she has this demon baby inside her, and it's just eating her from the inside out.
She's literally dying.
Sickly and dying.
Yep.
And that's what the whole movie is about.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, what a great change of pace. This is really refreshing. It's really emotional. The acting is actually good. And it doesn't look bad.
And it also leaves you at the very end to really, really want to watch the next movie.
It does. It really does.
Mm-hmm. And also the wedding was in Part 1 too, which is amazing.
I like how it was in mostly one location.
Yeah.
That's very refreshing because the movies do tend to kind of move around a lot. So it's nice to just
they're vampires. They move fast anyways.
Of course. But in the was the baby born in the first movie?
Yes.
Okay. That's the part of the first movie I do not like.
Oh.
Is the baby being born.
Well, yeah, the baby was born in the first movie, but we saw her as a little kid in the second part.
Okay, well, when the baby was born, and it was like a CGI nightmare.
Yes.
That I could have done without.
The fucking meme.
It's honestly terrifying and weird and stupid.
We're thinking about the same one, the one with long hair, right? And it's just like.
Well, also like when it was a newborn, it was
like
still like a CGI baby,
Yeah,
and I actually had to read up on it because I was like, why would anyone think that was a good decision? Why on God's green earth?
But see, they like took the girl's face that was playing it, like the little girl that was playing the character, and like just like put her on the body of someone else.
But why?
Of her just growing up.
But
I don't
why?
know. It was really weird.
Just have a real baby. It's not hard.
I know, especially with
they make new ones every day.
Especially with how much like the fucking.
It was a big oof, dude.
Yeah,
it was really distracting.
With how much money like the movies were making, I would have expected to see
some
real shit.
For how honestly good the movie was, I would have expected more out of that part of it, so that was a disappointing part of it, but I still think it's the best movie overall. And now, I actually did look up why they did that. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because they wanted the baby to have an otherworldly appearance. That was their initial reasoning and goal, was for the baby to have... But you just ended up making a really distracting mess of a nightmare fuel fucking uncanny valley baby.
The fucking way that the baby looked over at Jacob is like, ew.
Where we know the actor's just holding like a doll or just like a lump of blankets or something, and you're just pasting a head on it. It's hard to get sucked into the scene that way. I'm sorry. Like when movies over rely on CG, it really takes away from the film. I think some of the best films ever made have the best practical effects because you can tell that they're there and you can tell that the actors are interacting with it. Little Shop of Horrors is a big one for me. Yeah. The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh my gosh. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Perfect. Yes.
Of course. Yes.
I'm glad you've seen it.
I'm all about horror movies, and that's a classic. So of course I've seen it.
And practical effects are especially important for horror movies. You can pull off CG, but sparingly and done well. Okay, that's all I'll say.
Like the It movies, both of them had CGI in it, but they did really, really well with it.
For the most part, yeah. For the most part. I don't really like seeing main characters run down a hallway from an entirely fake digital monster. It's just not exciting. It just stops being exciting at that point, unless they really pull it off. Because I'm not like a filmmaker. What the fuck do I know? Well, do you want to get into this?
Let's get started.
Let's get freaking And without any further ado, let's freaking go.
Let's freaking go. So if you saw and stayed long enough through the intro, today we are talking about zodiac signs.
Yes.
And a little history about them, where they come
Indeed.
from, and then a little bit about what each sign is.
And we are doing things a little differently today. I don't have slides for this first part. We're kind of squeezing this recording in here. It's been kind of a weird week for us.
Very weird week.
Very weird week. So we're kind of squeezing it in here. But it won't take away from the experience. I swear to you. I swear. I swear,
measure. Right. While some horoscope sites may promise prediction based on the movement of the stars, it is important to remember the movement of the stars. It's important to remember that it is the Earth that is moving, not the stars.
Of course.
The reason why stars look like they're moving, both throughout the night and over the course of the year, is because the Earth rotates on its axis, as we all know, and it orbits around the sun. But before most humans knew that, they spent a lot of time thinking about what happened up there.
Of course. A lot of our traditions that we hold to today are still in place because of what humans came up with when we didn't know the real answer.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Religion is one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, literally, though.
Yeah. I mean, literally, almost every
Peace and
single
love, of course.
religion... Almost every single religion, like, stemmed from one religion. You know that, right?
Yeah. You know, it's all made up. With peace and love.
Peace and love.
But it's all made up.
So through astrology... Oh, nope, that's not through. That's though. So, though astrology, looking for answers, signs, and predictions in the movements of the celestial bodies, isn't itself a science, but there's a long history of humans looking up at the stars to plan their lives. Farmers used the skies as a calendar as long ago as ancient Egyptians, when the rising of Sirius, the dog star, around mid-July was seen as a marker of the imminent annual flooding of the Nile.
That must be where the Sirius the dog in Harry Potter series got his name from.
Oh my gosh, yes!
That has to be at Sirius Black.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
It does.
Basically, every name in that whole thing means something.
Yeah.
Or, at least sounds cool, like Hermione. I don't think it means anything other than
Hermione.
I'm a nerd.
Oh my god. So travelers use the skies as a compass, following the stars to know where to go. And many people use the skies as a source of mystical direction as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Witches and things.
Looking
up at the stars. Based on the placement of the moon and the sun, I can tell you.
Don't be throwing shade to our witch friends out there.
I'm not throwing shade to the witch friends. You gotta make money somehow.
Yeah.
By reading fortunes.
But who first looked up at the sky to make sense of what was happening down on the ground, and why their fellow humans were behaving in certain ways? Well,
Who? Who was it? I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was my cue.
no, it's okay. It's exactly who came up with this way of thinking and when is unclear. But historians and astronomers do know a bit about how it got so popular.
Wow.
I
I honestly know jack shit about this, so this is a great episode for me.
Yeah, it's a great episode for anybody that doesn't know anything about it. All right, so where did the zodiac signs come from?
Yeah. I know some are based on animals and some are based on inanimate objects
Yeah.
and some are Gemini is based on twins.
Yeah.
So
Libra's a set of scales.
it's just random shit. So yeah, where do they honestly come from?
We don't really know who first came up with the idea for looking at things in nature and divining influences on humans, says astronomer Sten Odenwald, the director of citizen science at the NASA Space Science Education Consortium. There's some indication that cave art shows that idea, that animals and things can be imbued with some kind of spirit form that then has an influence on you. If you appease that spirit form, then you will have a successful hunt. See, that kind of reminds me of the Disney movie Brother Bear.
Yeah.
With how when you pass on, you come back as your spirit animal, and it just depends on how well you lived your life to what spirit animal that you have.
So, like, if I found a rabbit, because I think my spirit animal is a rabbit.
Technically, if your spirit animal was a rabbit, you would be of like lower form because you would be the prey, and you would be.
I like rabbits.
I know.
Well, no, I'm a different rabbit. I'm not a prey rabbit. I'm a different rabbit.
You're a rabid rabbit?
I'm a spotted rabbit named...
Are you a raving rabbit?
I'm a spotted rabbit named Dave.
You're a spotted rabbit named Dave?
That's my spirit animal.
Okay.
And I am not prey because I'm way too witty and clever to fall prey.
I feel like my spirit animal is definitely a sloth.
Yeah.
I feel very slothish
always.
Also,
just because you love sloths.
Yes, I am obsessed with
there's
them.
sloth shit all over the house.
But I feel like a sloth.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
I love sloths. They're cute.
They are adorable.
If I could ever legally own a sloth, I am getting a sloth. I'm just letting you know.
Well, 30 years from now, we're fucking multi-billionaires.
Exactly. That's why I said if I can ever get a sloth, I'm going to get one.
Like, I view myself as one of the rabbits from Watership Down, one of my favorite books of all time.
Watership Down.
Watership
I
Down.
don't think I ever read or seen or whatever.
It's one of my favorite
sounds
most
familiar,
favorite
but...
books. It's about rabbits traveling across the countryside.
Oh wow, that's cute.
And making a new burrow somewhere else, and it's actually very violent and dark in parts. Because it takes a realistic look at it, you know? Like, what would being a rabbit traveling across a countryside on foot look like? You know? It would look like some of you bitches are getting eaten.
Yeah, probably.
And there's going to be death, and there's going to be suffering. And like, you need, and, like, there's a lot of things to find, you know? You have to find the right land to build a warren.
Yeah.
You have to find does, you know, like there has to be enough lady rabbits, because otherwise you're just all going to die off, you know? Because how do you expect to fuck like rabbits if there are no rabbits?
Yeah, true.
Precisely.
And I bet
it's a fantastic book.
I bet if it took a long time, they would have to keep, like, multiplying in order to keep, like, the family movement going.
And I know that they made an animated movie of it in I think the 70s.
Oh. You have to watch that.
Yeah,
then.
I have seen it.
I still want to watch
It's
it.
also very violent and dark. I will say that reading the book and going right into watching a Watership Down movie, it was kind of like, I mean, the book is about that thick, you know, there's a lot of ground to cover, and the movie's really short, and they just cover everything so fast. But, like, the movie is really, really good, but the book is just better.
Yeah.
And it always will be better. You just have to read the book. You honestly do.
Yeah.
And I know that
I need
Netflix...
to read a lot of books.
Yes, you do. Netflix actually has a Watership Down, like a new one out. Like, I think it's like a Netflix BBC collaboration or something.
Oh. Interesting.
But, like, it's not 2D animation, it's 3D. And the rabbits look more like hares.
No. Oh.
So, fucking oof.
All right, so
but that's my spirit animal is a spotted rabbit named Dave, and PJ's is a sloth. Does your spirit animal have a name?
No.
Well, mine's a spotted rabbit named Dave, white with black spots.
See, and that's what I love about you. You just create a characterization for your spirit animal.
That's my spirit animal.
Because that is your spirit animal.
Spirit animal named
so
Dave.
Great.
I may change his name to Ronnie. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, based off of
your comics.
Based off a cartoon character I made when I was a kid. That'd be kind of cute.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, but I also like the name Dave for a rabbit. I'm sorry, go on.
So, the idea of spirit animals was taken over by the idea of divination, where you can actually look at things in nature and study them carefully, such as tea leaf readings as well.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some form of astrology shows up in various belief systems in ancient cultures as well.
Ancient cultures.
Ancient cultures.
So, like, it varies what they... how they study the stars varies.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, ancient China, noblemen looked up at the eclipses or sunspots as portents of good or bad times for their emperor. Though it that meme with the baby with the peanut butter on him.
I don't know that meme.
Well, I have to show you then.
Okay. I'll probably have to put it up on the screen.
Yes.
So basically, in China, the way they looked at the stars was all concerning their royalty.
Yes. Though it is thought that those signs had less application to the lives of other individuals.
So basically, the emperor means everything to these people. So you can really see where
The emperor is practically like a god.
Yeah, so you can see where the important parts of their culture lies by how they study the stars, you know. You can really see what they valued as a people.
Yeah, definitely. Odenwald points out that in societies where people in the lower classes had less control over their lives, divination would seem pointless.
Could seem pretty pointless, yeah.
The Sumerians and Babylonians, by around the middle of the 2nd millennium BC, appeared to have had many divination practices. They looked at spots on the liver and entrails of animals, for example.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, right? And their idea of watching planets and stars was a way to keep track of where gods in the sky can be traced to the Venus tablet of Imisak.
I'm going to say Amisadukwa. Amisadukwa. The Venus tablet of Amisadukwa. Okay, so some people, so Chinese people looked at the eclipses to tell how their emperors were doing, and the Sumerians and the Babylonians, they just straight up dissected animals.
Yes.
And looked inside there, and like they just watched the planets to check where their gods were.
Yeah.
And it was less about, so for them, watching the planets was more about the gods and less about people. And for the Chinese, it was more about the emperor, less about people.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Again, you can see where their priorities lie.
Yeah. So this tablet, the Venus tablet of
Amisadukwa.
This tablet, which is dated to the 1st millennium BC and tracks the motion of Venus, is one of the earliest pieces of what's been called Babylonian planetary omens. The ancient Egyptians contributed the idea that patterns of the stars made up constellations, through which the sun appears to quote-unquote move at a specific time during the year.
So we can thank the Egyptians for
constellations,
or at least noticing them.
Yeah.
I imagine we would have noticed them after a while, but, you know, shout out to the Egyptians for being the first.
Egyptians.
Shout out to the Egyptians.
Womp, 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 womp.
For seeing patterns in stars where no one else did.
It's thought that all of these ideas came together when Alexander the Great conquered Egypt around 330 BC.
Okay.
There must have been a lot of exchange there must have been a lot of exchange that the god
What's going on?
I don't know.
Should you do the accent?
No.
Okay.
There must have been a lot of exchange that got the Greeks on board with the idea of divination using planets, says Odenwald. And because they were deep into mathematics and logic, they worked out a lot of the rules for how this could work.
Okay.
So here is how NASA described how that logic led to... Hold on, I'm gonna rephrase that. So NASA has described how that logic led to the creation of the familiar zodiac signs known today as...
So this is straight from NASA?
Yes.
NASA, friend of the show, NASA?
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to NASA.
Shout out to NASA. Imagine a straight line drawn from the Earth through the sun and out into space, way beyond our solar system where the stars are. Then
Gorgeous.
picture the Earth pointing its orbit around the sun. This imaginary line would rotate, pointing to different stars throughout one complete trip around the sun, or 1 year. All the stars that lie close to the imaginary flat disk, swept out by this imaginary line, are said to be in the zodiac.
Okay.
The constellations in the zodiac are simply the constellations that this imaginary straight line points to in its year-long journey.
Okay. Thanks, NASA. Thanks for clearing that up.
Right? It kind of makes sense, though, because if you look at a zodiac chart, it's a circle. And
Yeah.
if you look at the planets going around the sun, like from like the top, and you see like it doing that, where the Earth is depends on like each month and the signs.
And it's not like the stars in that constellation are next to each other.
Yeah.
They are light years apart.
Oh, yeah, they are far,
and
far
they're
apart.
not even on the same level. Some may be way closer and some are way farther. It's just they look like the same size.
Yeah.
Because the one that's farther may be bigger, and we're only seeing them because of just how we happen to be rotating is really all just chance.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what people found meaning in, is because this is the chance of the universe, and this is what we're seeing from it. So
Yeah. All right, so what are the 12 signs of the zodiac?
I know one of them. I know the one that I am. That's all I care about is me.
And
Me.
that's why you're a Gemini.
Yo soy muy importante.
Oh my God. It was during this ancient Greek period that the 12 star signs of the zodiac, with which many people are likely familiar today. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces.
All right, now just for the folks at home, what is your sign?
My sign. Hold on. I'm a fucking Libra.
Isn't Adore Delano a Libra?
Yeah.
The drag queen?
That's
Yeah,
the quote.
yeah.
She literally walked
I'm
in.
a Libra.
Yeah, I'm a fucking Libra.
I'm a good leader. I'm a Libra.
Yeah, and I'm a Gemini, and I don't know if that means anything. I honestly don't know much about what Geminis are about, so I'm really stoked to get into it later
Well, we're
on.
gonna find that out later.
Yeah, we're gonna see how close to Gemini I really am. But like whenever I tell people I'm a Gemini, they always go, "Oh, that explains a lot." So,
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait.
So these signs were set down. What? Were set down.
It was likely are familiar today. All these were set down. You can just start from the sentence.
Okay. These Western or tropical zodiac signs were named after constellations and matched with dates based on the apparent relationship between their placement in the sky and the sun.
So our constellation known as Taurus, or constellation known as Gemini and Cancer, and all of them, just how the Earth managed to fall in the solar system amidst all the stars.
Yes, exactly.
It is pretty cool how it is all just, the chance of the universe, like we said.
The Babylonians had already divided the zodiac into 12 equal signs
Thanks,
by
Babylonians.
1500 BC, boasting similar constellation names to the ones familiar today, such as the Great Twins, the Lion, and the Scales.
I'll be.
And these were later incorporated incorporated into Greek divination.
So the idea of a Gemini is not a new idea.
No.
Okay. That feels good.
Yeah. And the scales, also, Libra.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Can't forget about the scales.
Can't forget about the scales. The astronomer Ptolemy, author of Tetrabiblos, which became a core book in the history of Western astrology, helped popularize these 12 signs.
Oh, for a second I was like, is that on Amazon? Did that just come out? But then I realized the astronomer Ptolemy. So that book is probably extremely old.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Don't look at me like that.
I love you.
I love you.
I don't love that fan.
Well, I do. So
I can't escape it, you guys.
you will not ever escape it. This whole idea that there were 12 signs along the zodiac that were 30 degrees wide, and that the sun moved around these signs regularly during this year, that was codified by Ptolemy.
Ptolemy.
Hell
So
yeah, Ptolemy.
he really basically made them what they are today, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he didn't like it. He did popularize it.
Did you just have a stroke?
Yes.
Okay. Are you okay?
No.
Oh. Well, as long as you can still do the podcast.
Yep, that's
We'll
fine.
just go to the hospital later.
So even the word zodiac comes from the Greek, from a term for sculpted animal figure. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, and the order in which the signs are usually listed comes from that period as well.
Very nice, dude.
Thanks.
I'm sure our audience loves that.
Yes, they do.
They better love when I do it too. Because I do it a lot.
Back at the time of the Greeks, Odenwald explains, the first day of spring started when the sun appeared in the constellation Aries, and then everything was marked from that time forward around the circuit of the year. However, the Earth has moved on its axis since then, a process known as the precession, and now the dates that are used to mark the signs don't really correspond to the background constellations that give them their signs' names. In fact, the chronology has really shifted one sign to the west. That means zodiac sign dates based on mathematical division of the year basically correspond today to the presence of the sun in the constellations of the signs that come before them. The set nature of the signs is also why the Minnesota Planetarium Society's 2011 argument that there should be a 13th zodiac sign, now Ophiuchus, I already messed that up, didn't actually result in a big astrology change. The set nature of the signs is also why the Minnesota Planetarium Society's 2011 argument that there should be a 13th zodiac sign, now Ophiuchus, didn't actually result in a big astrology change. How do we feel about Ophiuchus?
I like Ophiuchus. We kind of, okay, he's, we did a little bit of light digging. It's a large constellation of a man holding a serpent.
But that means that you wouldn't be a Gemini anymore.
Then I don't like Ophiuchus.
Before astrologers looked at where the sun was relative to the background constellations in general, that generally matched up most exactly with the signs of zodiac defined by Ptolemy, says Odenwald. Now astrologers do their calculations and forecasting based on where the planets and the sun are relative to the 12 signs, which are fixed, and not based on where they are relative to the constellations. Astrologers say if the sun is in the sign of Sagittarius on the day you were born, then you are a Sagittarius. Ta-da.
Okay, so now it's not really based on the constellations. It's based on a fixed thing now.
Pretty much.
Basically, what the constellations do represent this, but we don't read the constellation anymore because we have the official dates now.
Yeah.
So otherwise, the dates could be changing up all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Because the universe is finicky like that.
And that's why there has been a suggestion to have a 13th or 14th zodiac sign, is because of how the planets are moving and how the Earth is just getting further and further apart, and it's taking a little bit longer to move around.
Like we discussed in the space episode, the moon is just crawling away from the Earth at like an inch a year.
All of the planets are doing that.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between astrology and astronomy?
I know some people are going to appreciate this.
Yes.
And by some people, I mean me.
For centuries, astrology, looking for the signs based on the movement of the celestial bodies, was considered basically the same thing as astronomy, which is the scientific study of those objects. For example, revolutionary 17th century astronomer Johannes Kepler.
Johannes Kepler.
Johannes. Oh, fucking dumbass.
Pretty sure
bitch.
it's Johannes.
Johannes Kepler. Yeah, it is. Who studies the motion.
Johannes Kepler.
Johannes. God damn it. God,
Johannes Kepler.
who studied the motion of the planets, was at the time considered an astrologer. That changed around the beginning of the Enlightenment of the late 17th century.
Back before it was
Back.
enlightened. So basically, astronomy is the scientific study of the objects. Astrology is looking for signs and meaning from the movements of it. So astrology is not a science. Astronomy is a science.
Yes. Yes, sure.
Okay.
Once,
It's still easy for me to get those mixed up
yeah.
to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why.
It's just because they
Like,
sound
wait,
so
which
cool.
one is a science and which one isn't? Oh.
Yeah, astronomy.
I need to come up with some mnemonic device. Astronomy means science. Astronomy means science.
Astrology.
Astrology, G. That's not science. No?
G. That's not science.
I feel like I could very easily mix it up in my head and just say G. Wait, was it G that's not science or G that is science? So even my own mnemonic device isn't going to help me out. I need to think harder and come up with one.
All right.
Pat's leg. You'll be okay.
So once Sir Isaac Newton basically turned the sky into a calculator,
Sir Isaac Newton, friend of the show.
mathematizing the motion of the planets and realizing that gravity controlled everything.
That it does.
Odenwald says that started a whole new scientific approach to looking at the sky and the motion of the planets and the Earth.
So we have to give another shout out to Sir
Another
Isaac Newton.
shout-out.
Not only was he a badass scientist who realized that gravity controlled everything, but he was also knighted. He became a Sir.
Oh,
Sir
wow.
Isaac Newton. Well, yeah,
Heck yeah.
it's in his name. I want to be knighted, dude.
That'd be cool.
Have an official Sir in front of my name.
Yes.
You know, like
Sir Tristan Dean.
Sir Tristan Dean. You be Sir PJ. Sir PJ, can you imagine?
Sir Philip.
Wasn't how many actors have been knighted? I know some actors have been knighted. I think Michael Caine was knighted. I think Michael Caine might be Sir Michael Caine. I feel like Anthony Hopkins was knighted at the very least. Sir, I'm pretty sure Hopkins was knighted, so he's Sir Anthony Hopkins.
I'm not sure.
Like, if I was an actor and I was a Sir, dude, that's going right on the poster.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I can't think of any. I can't think of any other like actors that were knighted.
At the very least, Anthony Hopkins was.
That's the point at which astronomy came to be known as a science and astrology was acknowledged as not a science.
Because it's not, technically. We gotta be real.
Yes. But its popularity relies on the factors that numbers can't compute. And the appeal of looking to the stars for answers has not waned. In fact, in recent years, it seems to have expanded. After all, a 2014 National Science Foundation poll found more than half of millennials think astrology is a science.
More than half of millennials think astrology is a science.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, it's
now,
because it's just a common mix-up.
is it because they really believe that the constellations mean something, or is it because they're just a dumbass millennial who doesn't know, like me, who doesn't know the difference between astrology and astronomy and always gets them mixed up?
It could be both.
It could be both. But I do think there are a fair amount of millennials who also do really believe in astrology. We just talked about one, Adore Delano.
Yes.
And honestly, they're all over. Even ones who claim
I mean,
not to.
I'm pretty strongly in the belief of astrology. So.
Even those who claim not to, but still like talk about it a lot.
And I feel like
it's always like kind of in the.
In my opinion, it is a type of science, kind of. I mean, obviously, it's not like actually a science, but in
So-
a way, it is studied like a science by a lot of people.
Then I think it would be fair to call it a pseudoscience.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, most
that-
definitely.
That's my way of talking about something that is treated as if it's a science, but is not technically science, but a lot of people believe in it. I'll just call it a pseudoscience.
Yeah.
And, people are usually fine with that.
So Odenwald argues that even if astrology answers... Hold on. Odenwald argues that even if astrology's answers aren't based on a scientific study, the reason people keep turning to the sky does come down to something very real. A psychological phenomenon he calls the human tendency for, quote, self-selection. This search for interpretations that match what we already hope to be true.
Of course.
So this is a quote. People magnify the positives and forget the negatives, he says. And that's just how we were designed.
Yeah, even I, who don't necessarily believe in astrology, I still find it endlessly fascinating, and I want to learn more about what Geminis are about, because I want to see how close they get to how I actually am,
Yeah.
It's cool. It's just cool to think about, All right, so we're going to take a break.
We're going to go and break. Bye.
We're going to get some coffee
need to get some
later.
more coffee.
Later.
I told you that I only smoke about 5 packs a day. Okay, I don't know why you're such a... Oh, sorry. Hi, guys. If you've never noticed, I always have a cigar in my mouth. And you know why that is. It's because I'm stressed as fuck. The only thing that relieves my stress is the Two Gays Walk in a Bar podcast. So if you didn't already know, it's the best thing in the goddamn world. And if you want something that'll put some hair on your chest, other than a couple packs of cigarettes, you can watch the fucking podcast, alright? Now, mother, I wanted some fucking cupcakes. Now, why didn't you...
And we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Here we are.
Back in black.
Let's hit the sack.
Still recording? Yes. All right.
What did you say?
Sweet. I'm making sure we're still recording, which we are.
Okay.
Because if we weren't, it'd be an absolute nightmare. This is actually, we actually filmed the first half of this podcast already, and your boy had one too many blue moons, and I'm not really very well adjusted to take in alcohol. I'm kind of a lightweight. Forgot to plug in my my mixer into my laptop, so wasn't recording the whole first half, and it really sucks.
That's okay, though.
I was not happy. Let's just say that.
It's all right, though.
But it's
We
okay.
doing
It was my
good.
fault.
We
I was
getting
just pissed at
through it.
myself. Like, God damn it. I actually didn't get that mad, I've gotten more, I've gotten more angry reactions out of myself over more menial shit. So I think I'm starting to handle negativity better as I age, which is good. Which is good.
That's
I
very
used to be
good,
a lot
yeah.
more immature, and I would, freak out over like little things. But I don't know. At least we didn't record the whole show. That would have been shitty. And now what we're going to get into is the individual signs, what they're about, just a brief overview of each sign. Now that you know about the zodiacs, let's talk about the signs themselves.
It's gonna be like strengths, weaknesses, likes, dislikes.
Yeah.
And then just like a little bit
Shit
of
like
a
that,
thing.
So look out for what you are and see how
Yes.
close they get to you. And for the YouTube, I'm probably going to be putting in a timestamp, so you can just skip ahead to yours if that's all you're interested in. Like me, I only care about Geminis.
Which is why you're a Gemini.
Exactly. I only want to hear about myself. But I guess we can hear about the others too. And I'll kind of judge. I'll rate them on how much I'll like to have them as friends as we go along.
Well,
Like,
we're also
Aries,
talking about compatibility. So.
And I'll just have you know that you should want to be my friend.
You should want to be your friend.
So just you best hope that you're not one of the bad signs, because I may not be compatible with you.
Oh my
And that's
God.
going to suck for you. And I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to deal with it, because I don't got time for having a billion friends. So I got to...
Can you hear that in your microphone?
Yes, I can. So I got to pick the best signs, compatibility-wise, that go best with Geminis. So... And that is...
I mean, you already have a good sign right here that's very compatible with you.
I'm talking friends-wise.
Okay.
I'm looking for new friends out on the internet.
out on the interwebs.
Out
All
on the
right.
interwebs.
So we are going to start with Aries. Their
Aries.
strengths are that they are courageous, determined, confident, enthusiastic, optimistic, honest, and passionate.
They sound like Gryffindors.
Yeah, I can see
Courageous, brave.
that. But their weaknesses are that they are impatient, moody, short-tempered, impulsive, and aggressive.
We don't like that.
They're
Because we know how much Gryffindors like to get their hands on swords.
yes.
We'd rather not an aggressive sword wielder. I don't know, Aries. I don't know about you.
Just like fuck your zodiac sign. What's your Hogwarts house?
I'm obviously Gryffindor.
I am a Hufflepuff.
Well, at
Obviously.
least you're proud about it.
I am proud about
You're
it.
proud and you're not ashamed of that. That's what matters.
Fuck off.
I'm obviously.
And that's exactly why you're a fucking Gryffindor.
That's exactly why I'm a Gryffindor.
Yes, because you think that you're all that in a bag of chips when you're all nothing in a bag of trash.
Because I'm actually, well, no, it's because I actually am all that in a bag of chips.
Oh, whatever. So Aries likes are comfortable clothes, taking on leadership roles, physical challenges, and individual sports. But they dislike inactivity, delays, work that doesn't, and work that does not use their talents.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can relate to my boy Aries a little bit. A little bit.
As the first sign of the zodiac, the presence of Aries will always mark the beginning of something energetic and turbulent. They are continuously looking for dynamic speed and competition. Always being the first in everything, from work to social gatherings. Thanks to its ruling planet Mars and the fact that it belongs to the element of fire.
Mars and fire. That's dope.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that Mars is fire because Mars is the red planet.
Yes, exactly.
Pretty fiery looking planet.
and
Although
this,
it's actually cold.
And that's just like Leo and Sagittarius, which we'll get to later. Aries is one of the most active zodiac signs, and it is their nature to take action, sometimes before they think about it well. So Aries is actually based on the flying ram, guided by the story of the Golden Fleece.
Okay.
And Aries is ready to be the hero of the day, fly away and carry many endangered, powerless people on their backs. The power of a ram is carried on his back, for he is gold itself, shiny and attractive to those ready for betrayal.
And most of this is Greek mythology?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, of course, it's based on Greek mythology.
I'm just double checking.
Each Aries has a test to share for their position, power, gold, or physical strength with other people willingly, or the energy will be stopped in its natural flow. Fear will take over, and the process of giving and receiving will hold the balance at zero. Some compatible signs for Aries would be Sagittarius, Leo, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra.
Aries. Holla at your boy.
Holla at your boys.
If you're an Aries, come on over. I will welcome thee with open arms.
Next in our thing is Taurus.
Taurus. A very reliable car right here.
Yes. And that's something that actually relates it to the sign, because their strengths are that they are reliable, patient, practical, devoted, responsible, and stable.
Stable.
Except
Like
my
a bull.
car, because she was not stable and was a bitch. So fuck you.
Well,
Every Taurus that I've run into is a fucking whore.
fuck the actual Ford Taurus, but it makes sense that Taurus would be like stubborn and reliable and like hardy, because it makes sense, because because you think Taurus, you think bull, and when you think bull, you just think all the bull attributes.
Yeah, their weaknesses are that they are stubborn, possessive, and uncompromising.
Don't they make a lot of money, Taurus?
I don't know. I think so.
Like, isn't that a thing about Taurus,
Yeah.
that they make money?
They like gardening, cooking, music, romance, high quality clothes, and working with hands. Ooh. Working with hands.
So Taurus probably does a lot of trade work.
Trade work.
Yeah, like plumbing, electrician, welding,
It'd probably be a very well-suited
Basically,
job.
Taurus do a lot of the shit that keeps
Hands-on jobs would be very well suited.
hands-on jobs that that keep the world going around, basically, is what Taurus are about.
And they dislike sudden changes, complications, insecurity of any kind, and synthetic fabrics.
They dislike insecurity.
Yes.
Well, then, I'm sorry, Taurus. I don't think we can fucking get along.
Taurus is an earth sign, just like Virgo and Capricorn, and has the ability to see things from a grounded, practical, and realistic perspective. They find it easy to make money and stay on their same projects for years, or until they are completed.
So, me, who drops projects at the drop of a hat, and Taurus. I just named the Pokemon.
Tauros.
Taurus likes to actually stay on projects.
Yeah.
So Taurus and Gemini
they have to stay on them and finish them. It's like a drive in them. Like if they can't have unfinished work.
I have unfinished work all the time, but I'm the type that always has to be working on something.
Yes, that makes sense. So the ruler of Taurus is Venus, the planet of love, attraction, beauty, and satisfaction.
You know why it's called the planet of love?
Also creativity and gratitude.
Because penis.
Because penis. Penis and Venus.
Penis and Venus.
Oh my God. This tender nature will make Taurus an excellent cook, gardener, lover, and artist. They are loyal and don't like sudden changes, criticism, or the chase of guilt people often are prone to.
Lover, you say?
Yes.
Lover.
Being somewhat dependable on other people and emotions, they seem to be unable to let go of. Still, no matter their potential emotional challenge, these individuals have the ability to bring practical voice and reason into any chaotic and unhealthy situation.
Taurus. I like that about you.
The story of Taurus.
Voice of reason.
Yeah. The story of Taurus is the wandering bull being one of the betrayed, being the one who betrayed their best friend, the goddess of Hera herself. This is an unfortunate being that has to wander the earth in order to find its freedom. As if something was always poking them in their back, reminding them of the happiness that once was, stinging and pushing forwards, they close up on their own worlds, lonely and separated from their core. To find love, a Taurus has to travel the world, change perspectives, or make a shift in their entire belief system and their system of values.
Really? So a Taurus really has to work hard to find love, whereas to other signs, it just comes naturally.
Well, I wouldn't say it comes naturally.
Comes easier, at least.
Yeah.
Why does our constellation look like a tuning fork?
Yes. Yeah, it does.
Is that supposed to be a bull?
Yeah. It's the horns going up and then the body.
I'm sorry.
It would make sense if you saw the actual picture drawn out.
Okay.
So next is Gemini.
Hey!
Gemini's,
finally getting down to the nitty gritty.
Gemini's
really
strengths are that they are gentle, affectionate, curious, adaptable, ability to learn quickly, and exchange ideas.
Honestly, though, I love exchanging ideas. I learn quick as fuck. I'm super affectionate. I'm like I'm a sappy fuck.
But your weaknesses are that you are
that I have none.
Nervous,
Yeah.
inconsistent, and indecisive.
Yeah. Well, maybe indecisive.
You're being indecisive about being indecisive.
I'm literally being indecisive right now. So I guess I'm indecisive. Damn it.
So
I
Gemini's
just got played.
Gemini's likes music,
Yes.
books,
Yes.
magazines, chats with nearly anyone, and short trips around town, which makes sense because you hate fucking driving for long distances.
I do dislike driving for long distances, yes.
So
And,
short trips around town is...
And what was the one before the short trips around town?
Chats with nearly anyone.
That one's a little up in the air.
I feel like because you have come home and said that you have had really interesting and intellectual conversations with like customers that you have at work.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that you're definitely not someone that doesn't like to talk. And you have a lot of friends at work too.
That is, well, okay.
And
I
you're
just
easy
don't
to talk to.
I just don't like small talk very much.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, I'm an introverted Gemini. I really am, Like small talk makes me
And that's
makes
because
me
you're a
nervous.
double Pisces.
Oh, yeah.
Also, which I feel like what would be really fun is if we made an episode just talking about like our natal charts, like going more like deep into like our specific signs, because depending on even what time you were born, it inflects like which sign your Venus is in, which is like your love and affection and stuff like that. And it just delves a lot deeper into
That could be a fun thing to do a deep dive on. I love books. I'm a very avid reader. I'm very well read.
Gemini's dislikes are being alone, being confined, repetition, and routine.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yes. It does.
Expressive and
That's me, boo.
quick-witted, Gemini represents two different personalities in one, and you will never be sure which one you will face. They are sociable, communicative, and ready for fun, with a tendency to suddenly get serious, thoughtful, and restless. They are fascinated with the world itself and extremely curious, with a constant feeling that they are not enough. There is not enough time to experience everything they want to see.
Wow, this is like looking in a mirror.
Right? Exactly. You are literally a Gemini.
It really is a lot like me. I'm a very curious person.
So the sign of Gemini belongs to the element of air, accompanying
Like Aang,
Libra
an airbender.
and Aquarius.
So we're both air signs.
Yes.
Dope.
And which is why we're so compatible, is because air just flows.
Yeah, we are very compatible.
And this connects it to all aspects of the mind. It is ruled by Mercury. Mercury, the planet that represents communication, writing, and movement. People born under the sun sign often have a feeling that their other half is missing. So they are forever seeking new friends, mentors, colleagues, and people to talk to. I love that so much because you're just saying at the beginning of this, I'm looking for friends, guys.
Holy shit. Wow. Yeah. Dang, dude. I'm kind of speechless because it is kind of like it is
very accurate.
Like me. Yeah. It is very accurate.
So Gemini is the caring twins. There is so much childish innocence in the nature of Gemini.
Yeah.
Telling their tale of brotherhood, love between best friends and relatives who are entirely different by character, circumstances, physical appearance, and upbringing. They are in this world to mend differences and make them feel right. Ready to give their life to a brother or a friend. Gemini love and sex fun. Ooh, what?
What was that? Gemini love what?
Okay, so Gemini love and sex fun and always ready for an
Love and sex fun?
I don't know. It's fucking phrased weird.
Does that mean they love sex and fun?
Well, it's like it's
because that's right. I do love sex and fun.
It's capitalized too. Like Gemini love and sex fun and always ready for an intellectual challenge.
Well, I do love sex and fun, and I am up for an intellectual challenge. So there you go.
Gemini sees love first through communication and verbal contact, and find it as important as physical contact with their partner.
Yeah.
These two combine with when these two combine, obstacles all seem to fade. Inquisitive and always ready to flirt, a Gemini could spend a lot of time with different lovers until they find the right one who is able to match their intellect and energy.
I don't know. That one's a little bit. I'm not really have a long stream of lovers kind of person. I'm not really the type to just move around like that. Like I haven't dated a lot of people at all, honestly.
But you've with the people that you have dated, you've been with them for a while.
Yeah.
So
I'm more of a relationship person than a one night stands sort of type of personality. You know, always been that way.
So some compatible signs for Gemini to consider: Aries, Leo, Libra, Aquarius, and Sagittarius. Old saggytittyus.
Old saggytittyus?
Yeah.
So Geminis go well with Libra for sure.
Yes, most definitely.
And we're both air signs.
Exactly.
Wait, because we're both air signs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the next one is Cancer.
Cancer.
Cancer's strengths are that they are tenacious, high imaginative, loyal, emotional, sympathetic, persuasive.
Persuasive.
Yes, and
It means they're charismatic in the way they have to be, because you have to have a level of charisma to be able to persuade somebody.
Weaknesses are that they are moody, pessimistic, suspicious, manipulative, and insecure. Do you know anybody that's a Cancer?
Yeah.
Who?
Victoria.
Victoria's a Cancer? Oh, okay.
And manipulative is kind of like, it's like the negative side of persuasive almost. It's like they almost mean the same thing. It's just one has a positive connotation and the other has a negative. So, interesting. Their positives are that they're persuasive. Their negatives are that they're manipulative.
So Cancer's likes, now I'm actually kind of thinking about Victoria in this sense. Cancer's likes art, home-based hobbies, relaxing, near or in water, helping loved ones, a good meal, or a good meal with friends.
I like a good meal
Yeah.
by myself.
Cancer's dislikes are strangers, any criticism of mom, and revealing of personal life.
So they are secretive, and if you shit talk they mama, they'll fucking kill you.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Deeply intuitive and sentimental, Cancer can be one of the most challenging zodiac signs to get to know. That makes a good amount of sense.
Yeah.
They are very emotional and sensitive and care deeply about matters of the family and their home. Cancer is sympathetic and attached to people they keep close. Those born with their sun and Cancer are very loyal and able to empathize with other people's pain and suffering.
Yeah, the Cancer that I know is a very sympathetic person, or very, very empathetic, I mean.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The sign of Cancer belongs to the element of water, just like Scorpio and Pisces.
Be like water, my friend.
Guided by emotion and their heart, they could have a hard time blending into the world around them.
So Cancers are just trying to find their way in the world.
Yeah. Being ruled by
They'll get there.
And it makes sense because Cancer is a crab.
And crabs can only move laterally.
And they like spending time next to water or near water or in it.
Crabs have to move laterally, so they have to kind of like sidestep everything. They can't just move dead on. They have to take an alternate path. That makes sense. Oh my god, I cracked the code.
Yeah, boy.
You're welcome, Cancers.
Womp, 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 womp.
That'll cost you $60.
You gotta do the combo move. Oh, fuck.
You
I was trying to do that rapper pose.
did a great job.
I know. I fucking knocked the microphone if you couldn't hear it.
I'm not going to lie. I've had a lot of black coffee, and I'm going to shit my brains out
Oh my god.
later, dude. It's going to be a mess. I'm going to poop all over this room.
Oh god. No.
With peace and love.
No, God, please. No. No. No.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
All right.
Go on.
Being ruled by the moon, phases of the
moon.
lunar cycle deepen their internal mysteries
Why do
and
Cancers get the moon?
bitch. Don't.
I'm sorry, that's dope.
Yeah, I know, right? Phases of the lunar cycle deepen. I said depend. Deepen their internal mysteries and create fleeting emotional patterns that they are beyond control. As children, they don't have enough coping and defensive mechanisms for the outer world and have to be approached with care and understanding. For that is why they give in return.
Well, I'm not going to speak to how much that relates to the Cancer. I know, but I will say that Cancer, just like as a whole, basically what I'm getting is that they are very empathetic, but they're also moody.
Yes.
Interesting.
So Cancer is the brave crab sent to this earth by something that they believe in, only
Brave
to mess
crab.
with something bigger than they are. This isn't an animal aware of their own strengths. Patriotism can make them endanger their own well-being.
Patriotism.
Yeah. Fighting for someone else's cause as if others can become their higher power. The crab knows where they're going, but this is often in a wrong direction, or at least until they learn their lessons and start relying solely on themselves. Some compatible signs for Cancer are Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, Pisces, and Capricorn.
When I picture the crab of Cancer, I picture a giant crab smoking a cigar, and like it has a cigar in its pinchers. It's smoking the cigar, and its name is Randy.
Randy.
Randy the Cancer.
Randy the Cancer crab. All right, so the next is Leo.
Leo.
Who's a Leo that we know?
Lion.
Bree is a Leo.
Bree is a Leo? Okay,
Brianna is
cool.
a Leo, yes.
Bree is a Leo. Always knew she was bad news.
Their strengths are that they are creative, passionate, generous, warm-hearted, cheerful, and humorous. Bree's pretty funny. Weaknesses.
Why are Gemini's funny? I'm funny. The frick?
Weaknesses are that they are arrogant,
Oh.
stubborn, self-centered, lazy, and inflexible.
Inflexible. So they're arrogant, and they're not willing to budge on their arrogance.
Yeah.
Leos. Leos. You can get your shit together.
So,
Just stop it.
Leo's likes are theater, taking holiday, being admired, expensive things, bright colors, and
Being
fun
admired.
with friends.
Being admired.
Me too.
Wow. Same.
They dislike being ignored, facing difficult reality, and not being treated like a king or queen.
I don't know about the whole king or queen shit. I could really care less if someone treats me like a king or a queen. Well, if they're going to treat me as one, I'd rather be a
Well, you're not a Leo, so.
queen. I'd rather be a queen. But what was the other one? What, like
What do you mean? Being ignored.
being ignored? Yeah, being ignored sucks.
Well,
I
that
hate
sucks
that.
for anybody.
That sucks for anybody. See, and that's the thing about a lot of these signs is that a lot of the qualities are something that anybody could apply. Like, I could see myself fall under a lot of these, under basically any of the signs.
Well, I think these are like the biggest dislikes and likes. Like, these are like the biggest thing to them.
It is uncanny how much I relate to all the qualities of a Gemini for the most part. And I do relate to some less, but I do think that a lot of why people believe this is just because they speak in a lot of generalities.
I dated a Leo, and he was an asshole.
And
That was
Leos,
actually one of my last relationships, and it was pretty unhealthy.
and Leos are assholes. Don't trust them.
People born under the sign of Leo are natural born leaders. They are dramatic,
That's good.
creative, self-confident, dominant, and extremely difficult to resist.
Leo, like a lion, leader of the pride.
Able to achieve anything that they want in any area of life they commit to. There is a specific strength to a Leo, and their king of the jungle type status. Leo often has many friends, for they are generous and loyal. Leo belongs to the element of fire, just like Aries and Sagittarius. This makes them warm-hearted, in love with life, trying to laugh and have a good time.
That's nice.
Able to
Leo.
use their mind. What?
Leo.
Oh, yeah. Leo.
Is Leonardo DiCaprio a Leo?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Able to use their mind to solve even the most difficult problems, they will easily take initiative in resolving various complicated situations. Ruled by the sun, Leo worships the fiery entity in the sky, quite literally as well as metaphorically. They are in search for self-awareness and constant growth of ego. Aware of their own desires and personality, they can easily ask for everything they need, but could just as easily unconsciously neglect the needs of other people in their chase for personal gain or status. When a Leo representative becomes too fond and attached to their achievements and the way other people see them, they become an easy target ready to be taken down.
So what I'm hearing is that a lot of the billionaires are probably Leos, because you have to kind of have a level of, I don't give a fuck how anybody else feels. I'm just gonna advance my own damn self, and I feel like no one can reach the status of billionaire without fucking somebody over somewhere down the line, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna get fucked over.
Somebody's gonna get fucked over somewhere, yeah.
And that's so. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of billionaires fall under Leo.
Yeah.
And I am
Could be a common thing.
And I regret to inform you that Leonardo DiCaprio is not a Leo.
Oh, I'm big sad.
Yes, he was born November 11th.
I think that makes him a Libra.
Oh shit!
Either a Libra or a Scorpio. So Leos, the lion in the cave story of the lion.
Yes.
Always speaks of bravery. This is an animal fearless and impossible to challenge, hurt, or destroy. They will, their only weaknesses being fear and aggression towards those they confront. Living in a cave, a lion always needs to have one, nesting and finding comfort in hard times.
They need sanctuary.
Yes, they need sanctuary. However, they should never stay there for long. With their head high, they have to face others with dignity and respect, never raising a voice, a hand, or a weapon, bravely walking through the forest that they rule.
So Leo are stoic, is what I'm hearing.
Leo
are the real Gryffindors.
Yeah,
basically.
Pretty much. Compatible signs for Leo are Aries.
Dude, I was
Gemini.
just thinking Aries, because Aries are also very brave, and I also refer to Aries as a Gryffindor. So
yeah,
and Geminis.
Yeah, Aries, Gemini,
Leo,
Libra,
holla at your boy,
and Sagittarius,
and saggytittyus.
Yeah, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. All right, so the next one. Virgo.
We know Virgo very closely.
Yes.
Good old Jill.
Good old Jill.
All right, Jill, let's hear how you're fucked up. Shout out to Jill. She's probably going to be a guest on the show after a while.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, most def.
Strengths.
Whether she likes it or not.
Strengths of a Virgo are that they are loyal, analytical, kind, hardworking, and practical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Weaknesses.
All boxes checked.
Weaknesses are shyness, worry, overly critical of self and others, and all work and no play.
I don't know about the all work and no play thing, because she's part of our D&D group. We play D&D. Mm-hmm. I'm the DM. Don't mean to humble brag there, but she's part of our D&D group. So you have to have a level of cut loosedness.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like you have to be kind of lax and chill in order to play D&D, especially if you play D&D with me as a DM, because I follow the rules of Dungeons and Dragons very loosely.
Yeah.
I play it very fast and loose with the rules.
Fast and loose.
Very fast and loose. So tell us more about Virgo.
Virgos are always paying attention to the smallest details, and their deep sense of humanity makes them one of the most careful signs of the zodiac. Their methodical approach to life ensures that nothing is left to chance, and although they are often tender, their hearts may be closed for the outer world. This is a sign often misunderstood, not being because they lack the ability to express, but because they won't accept their feelings as valid, true, or even relevant when they are opposed to reason.
Wow.
The symbolism behind the name speaks well of their nature, born with the feeling that they are expressing everything for the first time. Virgo is an earth sign fitting perfectly between Taurus and Capricorn. This will lead to a strong character, but one that prefers conservative, well-organized things and a lot of practicality in their everyday life. These individuals have an organized life, and even when they let go to chaos, their goals and dreams still have strictly defined borders in their mind.
So basically, when I think of a Virgo, I think very analytical, and I think pragmatism, I think practicality.
Yes.
I think reason.
So Virgo... Ooh.
Whereas some of the signs tend to be more emotional, Virgo tend to be on the opposite spectrum of that. But still, they have their emotional side once you kind of peel back the layers of the onion, so to speak, and kind of really get down. But as you said, Virgos are often kind of shut out to the outside world emotionally.
You have to crack into a Virgo if you really want to be their friend.
Like an egg.
Yes.
Like a diamond. Like a diamond within a rock. You pick away at the rock and the diamond comes out. And that is a Virgo.
These individuals have an organized life, and even when they let go... Oh, I just read that.
Yeah.
Constantly worried that they missed a detail that will be impossible to fix. They can get stuck in details, becoming overly critical and concerned about matters that nobody else seems to care much about.
I mean, yeah, Jill's house is always the most clean.
Oh, yes.
The cleanest house I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
And she cleans like all day.
Our house isn't the most clean.
I wonder how many
organized.
Virgos out there in the world identify with that, with this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because this Virgo seems like a very oddly specific. Like, I know I said they speak in generalities a lot, but this one seems very specific to me. I don't think
I also dated a Virgo too.
What was that like?
He was very to himself and didn't really open up.
You're gay?
Shut the fuck up. But yeah, he was never able to open up fully and ended up just ignoring me. So fuck that.
Interesting. So we love Virgos on the show, but also fuck Virgos.
Honestly, we love every sign, but fuck every sign.
Yeah. Especially Virgos.
So Virgo
kidding.
is the disappointed goddess seeking goodness in humankind. Is the story of Virgo, and disappointment seems to be inevitable for their point of view.
Ooh, so Virgo is a disappointed goddess. Disappointment is always what they're about. That sucks.
It sucks.
Oof.
Which is why they're so meticulous about everything.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be disappointed in anything.
Interesting.
The first time they came from their cloud and jumped on to planet Earth, it felt like their mission is used to their existence for good, discovering ways of justice and purity in other people. But once they fail to find it too many times, Virgos will pull away, get lost, turn to substance abuse, or simply separate from other people to sit on the bench, criticize, and judge.
So the tendency for a Virgo to be disappointed can sometimes go in a very negative direction.
Yeah.
If they don't find outlets for themselves to, help them to not be disappointed.
Yeah.
Okay, Virgos, you gotta look after yourself.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
Compatibility signs for Virgo would be Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces.
And Pisces.
Misty is a Pisces.
All right.
All right, guys. Next one, the best of all the signs.
And I'm a fucking Libra.
Libra!
You're such a Libra. What is this, a kite?
No, it's a scale.
Oh, yeah, duh.
What is this, a kite?
It looks like a kite.
Libra's strengths are that they are cooperative, diplomatic, gracious, fair-minded, and social. Weaknesses: indecisive, avoids confrontation, will
yes.
carry a grudge, and self-pity.
How much would you say that falls in line with you?
I am definitely very indecisive. I
Yeah.
try to avoid confrontation.
Correct.
I try not to carry a grudge, like, because I've learned that carrying a grudge isn't worth it in the long run. So I've kind of like, I'm not really there anymore, but I am definitely a self-pity type of person.
Okay. How
Um,
about the positives, though?
I'm very cooperative. What does diplomatic mean?
Just like a politician,
Okay.
you know? You are very diplomatic in your speech and the way you conduct yourself, you know? Very prim and proper.
Yeah. Gracious. Fair-minded. I think I'm pretty fair-minded.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
that
you
makes
are.
sense because of the scales. It has to be even.
Libra are all about judgment.
Mhm.
Okay.
And social, obviously.
Judgment and balance.
Yeah.
Cool.
Libras likes harmony, gentleness, sharing with others, and the outdoors. I don't really like the outdoors that much, but that's fine. Libras dislikes violence, injustice, loudmouths, and
Injustice makes sense.
and conformity. I'm very strongly about not liking conformity.
You're very...
We will not conform.
You are very much a nonconformist.
Yes.
Okay.
People born under the sign of Libra are peaceful, fair, and they hate being alone. Partnership is very important for them as their mirror and someone giving the ability to be the mirror themselves. These individuals are fascinated by the balance and symmetry. They are a constant chase for justice and equality, realizing through life that the only thing should be truly important to themselves in their own inner core of personality. This is someone ready to do nearly anything to avoid conflict, keeping the peace whenever possible.
Very non-confrontational, very not about violence. They're very much about justice and fairness and balance.
Yeah, it's like I sit here and I'm like, I've never fought, but like I feel like instead of saying like, oh, I will fight in a situation, which I will, but like in that situation, if it ever like came up, I feel like I would just like cry and fall because I don't like confrontation at all.
It would stress you out.
Yes. So the sign of Libra is an air sign.
Air signs. Why we get along so well.
Yes, set between Gemini and Aquarius, giving these individuals constant mental stimuli, strong intellect, and a keen mind. They will be inspired by good looks, insurmountable discussions, and people who have a lot to say. Each Libra representative has to be careful when talking to other people, for they are forced to decide about something that is coming their way or choose sides. They suddenly realize that they might be in the wrong place and surrounded by the wrong people. No partner should ever make them forget that they have their own opinion.
One thing I can say about the constellations and what all the constellations represent is it makes sense. The personalities they attach to what these constellations represent makes sense. It makes sense that the scale should be about balance and fairness and justice. It makes sense that the bull would be about stubbornness and you're steadfast. You are
To one goal, leaning forward.
Yes, and twins with Gemini. You're always looking for your other half. Makes sense.
Yeah. The planet ruling the sign of Libra is Venus, making these people great lovers, but also fond of expensive material things.
Gemini are great lovers too. Why didn't they put that?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Because your planet isn't ruling in Venus. Their lives need to be enriched by music, art, and beautiful places they get a chance to visit. And all right, so the background on Libra, the measure of our souls. Okay, so this is a myth. It's called the measure of our souls. The shortest myth of them all seems to present a good analogy to the shortest constellation in the sky. You might even say that it is non-existent, presented by the multipliers of Scorpio. Libra is one dot of balance in the sea of different extremes, manifested only through the 15th degree of the magnificent sign, an object among animals and people. There is something awfully insecure about Libra, as if they were unsure which plate to burden next. Aware that things pass and teach us to be careful around other people. Whatever we do in our lifetimes only serves to point the way for our souls toward the higher power, to finally measure our existence, telling us where we went wrong or what we did right. Libras unconsciously teach us true liberation and hides in lightness. Compatible signs for Libra are Gemini, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aquarius.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right, Scorpios. Strengths are resourcefulness, brave, passionate, stubborn, and a true friend. Weaknesses are distrusting, jealous, secretive, and violent. Oof. Scorpios' likes are truth, facts, being right, longtime friends, teasing, and grand passion. Dislikes are dishonesty, revealing secrets, and passive people. Scorpio-born are passionate and assertive. They are determined and decisive and will only research until they find out the truth. Scorpio is a great leader and always aware of the situation, and also features prominently in resourcefulness. Scorpio is a water sign and lives to experience and express emotions. In any case, you can be sure that the Scorpio will keep her secrets, whatever they may be. My mom is a Scorpio.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you want to open up to a Scorpio?
Yeah. And it seems like Scorpio's pretty push opening up pretty well. Pretty good too. Pluto is the ruling planet of the transformation and regeneration, and also the ruler of this zodiac sign. Some Scorpio-born can look older than they actually are. They are excellent leaders because they are very dedicated to what they do. Scorpios are brave, and therefore they have a lot of friends. Some compatible signs for Scorpio would be Cancer, Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces. Next is Sagittarius.
Saggytittyus.
Tanya is Sagittarius.
Oh.
Their strengths: generous, idealistic, great sense of humor. Weaknesses: promises more than they can deliver, very impatient, and will say anything no matter how undiplomatic. They like
while Libra are very diplomatic, Sagittarius are very undiplomatic.
Yes.
They are not prim and proper. They're ready to get down to business.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
They like freedom, travel, philosophy, and being outdoors. They dislike clingy people, being constrained, off-the-wall theories, and details.
So they are almost the opposite of a Virgo.
Yeah. Like the other fire signs, Sagittarius needs to be consistently in touch with the world to experience as much as possible. The ruling planet of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and the largest planet of the zodiac. Freedom is their greatest treasure because only then they can freely travel and explore different cultures and philosophies. Because of their honesty, Sagittarius-born are very impatient and tactless when they need to stay or do something. So it's important to learn and express themselves in a tolerant and socially acceptable way. Some compatible signs for Sagittarius are Aries, Leo, Libra, and Aquarius. Capricorn. My best friend Caitlin is a Capricorn.
Hey.
Their strengths are...
What is that, a cheese wedge? Is that a chip?
No, it's a goat with a mermaid tail.
Okay. Looks just like a triangle to me.
I think that it's like the goat head is like right here, and then like the tail. I don't know.
Yeah, they take a lot of liberties with these constellations.
All right. So their strengths: they are responsible, disciplined, self-control, and good managers. Weaknesses are that they are know-it-all, unforgiving, condescending, and expect the worst. They like family, tradition, music, understated status, and quality craftsmanship. And they dislike almost everything at some point. They pretty much dislike everything.
Wow, Capricorns, you need to lighten up.
Honestly.
You need to lighten up, Capricorns.
Belonging to the element of Earth, like Taurus and Virgo, this is the last sign in the trio of practicality and grounding. Not only do they focus on the material world, but they have the ability to use most out of it. Unfortunately, this element also makes them stiff and sometimes too stubborn to move from one perspective or point in a relationship. Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn.
Saturn, one of the coolest planets, in my opinion.
I love Saturn.
Yeah.
Jupiter is my favorite planet.
Shout out to Saturn.
Shout out to Saturn.
Yeah.
Saturn is a ruling planet, and this planet represents restrictions of all kinds. Its influence makes these people practical and responsible, but also cold, distant, and unforgiving, prone to the feeling of guilt and turn to the past. They need to learn to forgive in order to make their own life lighter and more positive. So, Capricorn is the goat of fear.
The goat, greatest of all time.
A goat with the tail of a fish is created to face fear and create panic. Fuck.
Okay.
It is the sign of decisions
Capricorn,
made
Jesus.
to be protected from monsters in our minds, lives, and immediate physical surroundings.
Why do we suddenly get all hardcore when we get to Capricorn?
Honestly, though, Capricorns are hardcore.
A goat with a mermaid tail that causes fear and suffering.
Where one scary thing leads to many others, rising up as defense mechanisms that only make things worse.
Damn.
Immersed in their secrecy, they face the world just as they are, brave enough to never run away, but constantly afraid of their own inner monsters. Compatible signs for Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, and Pisces. All right. Next, or second to last, is Aquarius.
Now this constellation looks the most like something to me. It looks like a bear crawling, or it just looks like an animal on all
It's a bear
fours.
crawling. It's a fucking water basin.
It looks the most like something, but it also represents the least of something.
So their strengths: progressive, original, independent, and humanitarian. Runs from emotional expression, is a weakness, temperamental, uncompromising, and aloof. Their likes, they like fun with friends, helping others, fight for causes, intellectual conversation, and they are a good listener. Their dislikes are limitations, broken promises, being lonely, dull or boring situations, and people who disagree with them. Aquarius born are shy and quiet, but on the other hand, they can be eccentric and energetic. However, in both cases, they are deep thinkers and highly intellectual people who love helping others. Aquarius is an air sign and as such uses his mind at every opportunity. If there is no mental stimulation, they are bored and lack a motivation to achieve the best result. Some compatible signs. Oh wait, no. The ruling planet is Uranus, which has which has a timid and abrupt and sometimes aggressive nature, but it also gives Aquarius visionary quality. Some compatible signs would be Aries, Gemini, Libra, and Sagittarius.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
You and me get along well.
All right, and last, but certainly not
Last,
least,
but also least.
Pisces.
Ugh, let's just get this over with. Fucking Pisces, dude.
Strengths are that they are compassionate, artist, intuitive, gentle, wise, and musical.
Honestly, yeah, okay. I can see it.
Yeah. Misty is a
This is your
Pisces.
sister, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weaknesses are that they are fearful, overly trusting, sad, desire to escape reality, and can be a victim or a martyr.
I can see that. I wouldn't call her overly trusting, though.
I think that she used to be overly trusting.
I think she's careful about who she lets in.
Yeah. She's definitely a lot more careful than she used to be. Pisces likes are being alone, sleeping, music, romance, visual media, swimming, and spiritual themes. Did you know that whenever I didn't... hold on. When Misty was only 2 years old, she was just completely swimming on her own.
Really?
Yeah.
Most 2-year-old humans can't do shit.
Yeah, I know. That's why you gotta put the baby in the water and teach them to swim young so that they already know how to swim.
That's fucking insane, dude. That's really cool. You can train a baby like you can train a dog or something.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Pisces dislikes. They don't like know-it-alls, being criticized, and the past coming back to haunt. Also, cruelty of any kind. They are friendly, so they often find themselves in a company of very different people. Pisces are selfless, and they are always willing to help others without hoping to get anything back. Pisces is also a water sign, and as such, in the zodiac sign is characterized by empathy and expressed emotional capacity.
They hate know-it-alls.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad news, because would you say I'm a know-it-all?
I could say that
Yeah, you can say it. It's fine. I know.
Their ruling planet is Neptune, so Pisces is more intuitive than others and have an artistic talent.
It sounds like some kind of astral-themed DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Neptune.
Yes.
Tune like music.
Yes. And Neptune is connected to music. So
Oh.
Pisces is revealed. So Pisces reveal music preferences in the earliest stages of life.
So a lot of Pisces are probably musicians.
Yeah. They are generous, compassionate, and extremely faithful and caring.
Yeah.
Pisces born are also known by their wisdom, but under the influence of Uranus,
Under the influence of your anus.
Pisces sometimes can take
Very influential.
a role of a martyr. In order to catch the attention, Pisces are never judgmental and always forgiving. They are also known to be the most tolerant of all the zodiac signs. I don't really know if that's Misty. But
I don't know if that's Misty. No.
compatible signs that Pisces should consider are Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, and Capricorn, which is funny because Misty is with Thomas, and Thomas is also a Pisces. Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. So that concludes my presentation today.
That's the show.
That's the show.
A little bit of history behind zodiacs and a little bit of a deep dive into each of what the zodiacs mean. So, how do they relate to you? You know, do you identify with your zodiac sign? I do actually identify with mine quite a bit, you know. A lot of the qualities are pretty spot on. In fact, like whenever I tell people I'm a Gemini, they almost always say, oh, that makes sense, especially if they've gotten to know me for a minute or two.
Yeah.
And then they find out I'm a Gemini. It's like, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know, man. Maybe there's something to this pseudoscience, or maybe it is all just gobbledygook. I don't know.
Who knows?
But at the very least, it is really fun to look at and just take into account how the stars are moving and how that might affect your life.
Exactly.
How that might affect you as a person.
So don't forget to comment, like the video, and subscribe.
Shit, yeah.
Comment, you know, if you related to your description of your sign, or
Let
if you
us know.
didn't, you know, let us know. We'd like to talk to you guys. We'll
Yeah.
comment. We'll respond. We have the fucking time.
Heck yeah. I don't know about that, but we'll find the time
We'll find the time.
if it's a good comment.
So what do you say? We boogie.
What do you say we boogie on out of here?
Let's boogie on out.
Let's boogie. All right. Bye.
Bye.
And I'm a fucking Libra.